Hello, good morning everyone. How are you doing, students? I hope you are doing great at your home. You are feeling uh, good at your home. So, welcome to this channel again. That is a biologist Shri. So, today in this video, just I'm going to teach you about the next topic from the second chapter of class 11. That is the chapter name of that topic is biological classification. That is a second chapter, and we have discussed in the previous video about the what are the biological classifications systems. So we discussed in the previous video, and we discussed about some kingdoms system of classification, like two kingdom system classification, 3 4 5 system of classification, and last we discussed about 3 domain system of classification. Okay, so we know very well about the classification system 2 3 4 5, but as you know very well that we have got the syllabus, reduced syllabus from the Cbse. So just we have to we need to know about only 5 kingdom system of classification. Okay, so let's get started with the 5 kingdom system of classification. As you know very well that in this video we are going to discuss about 5 kingdom system of classification, but later we will discuss about Kingdom Monera. That will be the first kingdom system that we will explain later. But before going further, just we need to know about 5 kingdom system of classification. So what do you mean by 5 kingdom system of classification? As the name suggests, and in the previous video we talked about 4 kingdom system of classification that was given by Copeland in 1956, and he used 4 terms in this system of classification, 4 system of classification. Remember, I'm talking about 4 system of classification because I want to make you aware about the 4 kingdom system of classification. Okay, so he used Monera, Protista, Plantae, and Animalia. These were 4. Okay, but in the 5 kingdom system of classification that was given by Robert H. Whittaker. Okay, Robert H. Whittaker in 1969. You can see here in this picture, you can see here R. H. Whittaker. That means Robert H. Whittaker. In the 1969, he proposed this 5 kingdom system of classification. He told us about the 5 kingdoms. First was Monera, second was Protista, third one Fungi, and fourth one Plantae and Animalia. And because he described a 5 kingdom system of classification and naming them, so what were the characteristics that he used for this classification? So what are the different characteristics in these 5 kingdoms? So let me explain to you first. That was complexity of cell structure. This is a first basic of this system of classification, 5 kingdom system of classification. The first characteristic was complexity of cell structure. That means prokaryotic or eukaryotic. I think you know very well that what is prokaryotic cell and what is eukaryotic cell. If you don't know, then I'm telling you that prokaryotic means those cells which have primitive nucleus. Primitive in the sense means old nucleus. We can say more easily false nucleus. Okay, false nucleus in the sense means the structure that we cannot define. So we can say the cell which do not have a definite shape in the sense which we cannot define. So prokaryotic cell, those cells which do not have a definite shape or definite nucleus. That means they have a false nucleus, primitive nucleus. But if we talk about the eukaryotic cell, so that means those cells which have a definite shape, a definite nucleus, and having a some organelles which have their membranes. So we can say the eukaryotic cell have a membrane bound organelles, but in prokaryote they are not, okay, membrane bound. So this is the basic thing that you know already and you have discussed in the previous class. So if talk about the second characteristics, what was the second basic characteristics that was used by the R.H. Whittaker? So that is complexity of organism body, that means unicellular, multicellular, okay. And you know very well about the unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means single cell organisms, and multicellular, that means those organisms who have more than one cell, okay. So that way multicellular organisms. If we talk about the third basic characteristic, so that was a mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition means those organisms who come in a kingdom of system of classification or classification. So those are photosynthetic or in absorption or ingestion. It depends on the organism how they are taking their food. So it depends. We will discuss about heterotrophic or autotrophic, photosynthetic. So you know very well about photosynthetic or autotrophic or heterotrophic organisms, okay. So now I'm talking about the first kingdom, that is a Monera kingdom. So in this whole video just we are going to discuss about the first kingdom, that is Monera. इस वीडियो में हम सिर्फ मोनेरा के बारे में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. सो जिसके अंदर हम प्राइमरली जो हमारे प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल आती हैं सभी, एक सिंगल यही किंगडम ऐसा है, दैट इज़ द फर्स्ट किंगडम which have a prokaryotic cell only, and we will discuss about the bacteria, okay. The bacteria के बारे में हम इसको डिस्कस करना है. only bacteria जितने भी हैं वो सारे मोनेरा में आते हैं. all the bacterias just come to Monera kingdom. Second, that will be a protista, where a eukaryotic cell, primarily unicellular forms will be there. Those organisms which are unicellular, which are eukaryotic organism, will be come to the protista. Third one is fungi. You know, I don't know what is the correct pronunciation, because I say fungi, some say like fungi. So depends on the pronunciation, accent, what you use. So fungi, eukaryotic cell, multicellular, having a more than one cell, the organism. So come to the fungi. Heterotrophic organism. Remember, what do you mean by heterotrophic? Those organisms who depend on other organism for their nutrition, for their food, okay. And plantae, that is multicellular, photosynthetic. And photosynthetic, when it comes to the mind, photosynthetic, so that means the process where plants use light for the formation of food, okay. And the last one is Animalia, where we are living in the kingdom Animalia. So multicellular organism, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they ingest and other living organisms. So there will be different nutrition habitats we will discuss later, okay. So this is a 5 kingdom system of classification proposed by R.H. Whittaker in 1969, and that is we are discussing here. And after the Cbse, you know very well, the Cbse has reduced the syllabus by 30%. So we had to discuss 5 kingdom system of classification because it is in your syllabus. Now go to the second slide. That is because I told you that we have to study only Kingdom Monera, that is the first kingdom system, that is the first kingdom in this 5 kingdom system of classification. So we are just discussing about Monera. And when we talk about the Monera, so one term comes to the mind, that is bacteria. You know very well about bacteria. Okay, so what are the characteristics of Monera kingdom? Okay, this is the picture from your NCERT books, just I have taken from there. So if you are getting properly, so you can learn this, you can study this, and if you don't understand about the this slide, so you can go further with this slide, Monera. Okay, what is Monera? So just go to the first slide, second slide, and here you can see that we have to study Monera kingdom. And if when we talk about the Monera kingdom, so we will study about Archaebacteria, because we have further divided Monera into the 4 subsystems, subkingdoms, you can say subdivision. Archaebacteria, second one is Eubacteria, third one cyanobacteria, and fourth one is mycoplasma. So these 4 we have to discuss in this video. Now go to this slide number 4, Kingdom Monera. So when we talk about the Monera, so all the bacteria will be the sole member of this kingdom. Okay, so जितने भी बैक्टीरिया हैं वो सारे किस में आते हैं? मोनेरा के अंदर. दे आर मोस्ट अबंडेंट माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म, सबसे ज़्यादा जो मिलते हैं वो यही हैं. सो रिमेंबर दिस, बैक्टीरिया अकर्स ऑलमोस्ट एवरीवेयर. Bacteria occurs almost everywhere in the sense that we can use the another term like omnipresent, we can use cosmopolitan. So everywhere means हर जगह ये मिलेंगे आपको, even over your body also, millions trillions वहाँ पर मिलेंगे आपको. Hundreds of bacteria are present in the hand of soil. If we talk about the different varieties, different types of the bacteria, so you can see, you can find so many bacteria in your soil also. Remember, we are talking about only soil. If we go further, so you can see everywhere, bacteria everywhere you can see. Okay, they also live in extreme habitat. Extreme habitat means salinity habitat, where is the saline water is present. If we talk about the temperature, so 100 plus temperature centigrade, if or we can say minus degree temperature. So everywhere, we discussed everywhere, bacteria can be found everywhere. Okay, so such like that, hot spring, desert, snow, deep ocean, and where few other life forms can survive, where few other life forms can survive. Only कुछ ही life forms होती हैं जो survive कर सकती हैं in hostile condition, we can say hostile condition or extreme conditions. So there are so many bacteria which can survive in the hostile habitat conditions, you know. So next line is, many of them live in or other organism as parasites. We can say it is a mode of nutrition. Like if many of them live in or other organism, that means parasitic bacteria. And we have divided bacteria because we are talking about the bacteria, we are talking about the Monera, because bacteria are the sole member of the kingdom. So we have divided the bacteria grouped under 4 categories on the basis of shape. On the basis of shape, we have divided bacteria into the different categories. Those are cocci, bacilli, spirilla, and vibrio. These are 4. And when we talk about the cocci bacteria or cocci bacteria, singular word is coccus, so that is a round shaped. If we talk about the bacillus, that will be in rod shaped. If we talk about vibrium, that is a singular form, vibrio, so it is a coma shaped. Vibrio is a coma shaped, vibrium is a coma shaped. Okay, and the last one is spirillum, that will be in spiral shaped. Okay, spiral shaped, as the name suggests, spiral. You have seen in your file where you see the spiral binding, so like look like that, like this is a spiral. bacteria. Okay, so these are the 4 bacteria categories on the basis of their shape. और ये है एक easy slide where you can see, where you can learn about the Monera. All members are prokaryotic and microscopic. Prokaryotic तो हैं क्योंकि हमने 5 kingdom system में क्लासिफ जस्ट अर्लियर फ्यू सेकंड अगो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड कि प्रोकैरियोटिक होते हैं, माइक्रोस्कोपिक होते हैं, प्रोकैरियोटिक होते हैं। तो क्या होता है, वो प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल वो होती हैं जो कि जिनकी सेल के अंदर न्यूक्लियस कैसा होता है, अनडिफाइंड, जिसकी कोई शेप नहीं होती, जिसको हम डिफाइन नहीं कर सकते। दैट मीन्स कि वो न्यूक्लियस, जिस चीज़ को हम डिफाइन भी नहीं कर पा रहे, यानी ये न्यूक्लियस है या नहीं है, सो वी कैन से वी कैन यूज़ अ डिफरेंट वर्ड्स, डिफरेंट टर्म फॉर द न्यूक्लियस, दैट इज़ न्यूक्लियोइड। अगर हम मोनेरा की बात करते हैं, बैक्टीरिया की बात करते हैं, तो वहाँ पर हम न्यूक्लियस नहीं बोलते, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, न्यूक्लियोइड, क्योंकि वो न्यूक्लियस प्रॉपरली नहीं होता, इसलिए हम यूज़ क्या कर रहे हैं, न्यूक्लियोइड। सो प्रोकैरियोटिक कैसे, सॉरी मोनेरा कैसे, प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल हैं, डिफाइन मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑर्गेनिज्म नहीं होते, ऑर्गेनल्स नहीं होते, माइक्रोस्कोपिक होते हैं। सभी को पता है माइक्रोस्कोप, वी हैव टू यूज अ माइक्रोस्कोप टू सी द मोनेरन्स, टू सी द बैक्टीरिया। दे आर मोस्टली सिंगल सेल्ड, यूनिसेलुलर होते हैं, और हो सकता है डिपेंड्स ऑन द मेंबर ऑफ द बैक्टीरिया कि कॉलोनीज बनाकर, यानी काफ़ी सारे एक साथ मिलकर कॉलोनीज या ट्राइकोम्स बना लें, काफ़ी स्ट्रक्चर्स बना लें। ओके, सो अगर हम सेल वॉल की बात करें, क्योंकि इन दिस वीडियो एट द लास्ट ऑफ द पेज वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट structure of the bacterial cell, okay, bacterium here, so we will discuss later, but now we are studying Monera. So they have a rigid, that means hard cell wall, that is non-cellulosic, that is not composed of, remember, not composed of cellulose. If we talk about the plant, and the plant's cell wall is made up of cellulose, but here bacteria's cell wall is not made up of cellulose. So what is the material that is a cell having a cell wall, is having a, that is a polysaccharide but not a cellulose, that is a polypeptidoglycan. Okay, what was that, peptidoglycan, we can say pep T do glycan. So bacteria's cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, not cellulose. Okay, so now we have divided Monera into 4 groups. First will be Archaebacteria, second will be Eubacteria, third will be Mycoplasma, and 4 will be Cyanobacteria. So this is the first, Archaebacteria. So as we have talked about Monerans, so these bacteria are, wait, just we are going to separate the bacteria. Archae word we have divided into 2 parts, archae and bacteria. And when archae comes to the mind, archae means old, ancient type of bacteria, old type of bacteria, primitive type of bacteria, यानी सबसे पुराने जो बैक्टीरिया हैं वो थे आर्की बैक्टीरिया. So that means कि जो पुराने हैं, so उनकी सेल वॉल कैसी थी, they do not have the peptidoglycan, they do not have a cellulose, a simple type of cell wall is there. Okay, so Archaebacteria means these bacteria are special since they live in the some most or harsh habitats such as extreme salty areas like halophiles, hot spring like thermoacidophils philes, and marshy areas like methanogems. Okay, so we are talking about the Archaebacteria. Just I am again explaining you what is Archaebacteria. The Archaebacteria are an ancient group of bacteria. Ancient, that means the old group of the bacteria living in extreme in extreme environment where other kinds of bacteria cannot survive. ये पुराने बैक्टीरिया का एक ग्रुप था जिसमें जो अदर टाइप के जो बैक्टीरिया होते थे वो इस कंडीशन में, ऐसी जो हॉस्टाइल कंडीशंस होती थी, जो खतरनाक कंडीशन होती है, जैसे ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर, मिनिमम टेम्परेचर दैट मीन्स माइनस में टेम्परेचर, या फिर सैलिनिटी वाला, साल्टी एरिया वाला, या फिर हो सकता है वो सल्फ़र जहाँ पर ज़्यादा पाई जाती है, ऐसा कोई एरिया हो, तो उस एरिया में सभी बैक्टीरिया नहीं मिलते, लेकिन आर्की बैक्टीरिया ऐसी जगह पर भी मिल सकते थे। तो ये होस्टाइल कंडीशन में मिलते हैं, याद रखना, होस्टाइल कंडीशन, एक्सट्रीम कंडीशन। ओके, सो और ये भी कहा जाता है कि इट इज़ बिलीव दैट दीज एंशियंट मोरियंस इवॉल्व एट अ टाइम व्हेन एक्सट्रीम एनवायरनमेंट वर एक्चुअली टाइपिकल ऑफ कंडीशन थ्रू आउट द बायोस्फीयर। ओके, सो ये एंशियंट टाइप के आर्की बैक्टीरिया हैं। स्ट्रक्चर की मैंने बता दिया है, द सेल वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ, डू नॉट, द सेल वॉल इज नॉट मेड अप ऑफ पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन। ओके, जो कि यू बैक्टीरिया में आपको देखने को मिलेगी सेल वॉल, वो वाली टाइप की नहीं थी, सिंपल टाइप की सेल वॉल थी। ओके, सो फिर हमने जस्ट नाउ वी हैव डिफ्रेंशिएट, वी हैव डिवाइडेड आर्की बैक्टीरिया थ्री into three groups. First will be halophiles, second will be methanogens, and third will be thermoacidophils. So now I'm telling you what is uh, methanogens. Methanogens are present in the guts of several ruminants like cow, buffalo, horse, such as cows, buffaloes, and they are responsible for production of biogas, means methane. Methane, formula of methane is CH4. Okay, biogas from the dung of गोबर जो होता है, dung of these animals, उससे हमें मिथेन जो मिलती है। सो ये बैक्टीरिया हैं, कहाँ पर मिलेंगे आपको, कहाँ मिलेंगे, इन ऑर्गेनिज्म की गट्स में, गले में मिलेंगे, जो कि यूज़ करते हैं, जो फूड यूज़ करते हैं, देन वो जो वेस्ट बनती है और वो बायोगैस बनाने में यूज़ होते हैं। सो दीज आर मिथेनोजेंस। ओके, मिथेनो, एज द नेम सजेस्ट, मिथेनो मीन्स those bacteria who are producing methane gas. Next one is halophiles. Halophiles means these archaebacteria are found in the region of high salinity. High salinity वाला जो एरिया होते हैं, जहाँ पर ज़्यादा सैलाइन वाटर होता है, नमक, ये चीज़ें ज़्यादा होती हैं, तो वो होता है एरिया। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम बात करें डेड सी इन द इज़राइल, वहाँ पर मिलते हैं ये। ओके, हाई साल्ट वाला जो ग्रेडियंट होता है वहाँ पर ज़्यादा पाया जाता है, सो साल्टी सैलिनिटी होता है। अगर हम बात करें, एंड थर्ड वन क्या है, थर्मो एसिडोफिल्स। सो थर्मो एसिडोफिल्स क्या होते हैं, ये वो बैक्टीरिया हैं, दिस बैक्टीरिया आर फाउंड इन सल्फर स्प्रिंग्स। ओके, कहाँ पर मिलते हैं, सल्फर स्प्रिंग। अगर हम एक एग्जाम्पल की बात करें, सो वो है सल्फरस, एक सल्फरस एरिया है विच इज़ फ्रॉम द USA, जो कि है येलो स्टोन नेशनल पार्क। येलो स्टोन नेशनल पार्क, इट इज़ अ शॉर्ट फॉर्म ऑफ दैट। सो ये वहाँ पर मिलेंगे आपको। ओके, सो नेचुरली इनका जो एनवायरनमेंट होता है पाए जाते हैं ये, सो दे आर अकरिंग इन ऑल द नेचुरल habitats. So these were the archaebacteria. Now we are going further with the, this is a simple slide you can see here. Now Eubacteria. Now next will be Eubacteria, and Eubacteria means you, where whenever you find U which is adding with the some word, so U means true. U means true, that means actual, real, जो रियल तरीके से हैं, जो ट्रूली बैक्टीरिया हैं, वो हैं यू बैक्टीरिया, ट्रू बैक्टीरिया। सो दे आर थाउजेंड ऑफ डिफरेंट यू बैक्टीरिया और ट्रू बैक्टीरिया। दे आर characterized by the presence of rigid cell wall. Rigid means hard cell wall, and if they are motile means they can move, so they have a flagellum structure. Flagellum, that is a tail like this, tail-like structure, that is a flagellum. So it helps in the movement. It helps in the movement. That means motile. So we can say the bacteria who come into the eubacteria, so they can move if they have a flagellum. The cyanobacteria, that means a blue-green bacteria. Cyanobacteria means blue-green bacteria. And why we are saying this blue-green bacteria? Because they have a chlorophyll, because they have a phycocyanin. Because they have a phycocyanin, that means a blue pigment. Okay. And why we are using blue and why we are using green? Blue, that is a phycocyanin, green, that is a chlorophyll. So that's why we are saying cyanobacteria. Okay. Blue-green alga. Why we are using alga? Because cyanobacteria and because cyanobacteria are made up of phycocyanin, chlorophyll. They have a chlorophyll pigment, they have a phycocyanin, and phycocyanin means, phyco means alga, cyanin means blue color, bluish. ओके सो ये ब्लू कलर के होते हैं, ग्रीन कलर के होते हैं, और एल्गा टाइप के होते हैं. जैसे एल्गा होता है ना, आपका नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे प्रोटिस्ट के बारे में, एल्गा पढ़ेंगे तो वहाँ पर प्रोटिस्ट में नहीं, प्लांटी में, प्लांटी में जब हम डिस्कस करेंगे एल्गा के बारे में, सो वहाँ पर आपको पता चलेगा कि फाइकोसाइनिन क्या होता है. एक पिगमेंट होता है जो कि मोस्टली ब्लू कलर का होता है और जो लाइट को अट्रैक्ट करता है और हेल्प करता है क्लोरोफिल की. सो यूबैक्टीरिया कैसे हैं? साइनोबैक्टीरिया आपको देखने को मिलेंगे, फोटोसिंथेटिक टाइप के बैक्टीरिया आपको देखने को मिलेंगे जो कि ऑटोट्रॉफ होंगे, क्योंकि फोटोसिंथेटिक ऐसे बैक्टीरिया जो कि फोटोसिंथेसिस करते हो. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फोटोसिंथेसिस? दिस इज द method where mostly plants use this method, and where they make their food in the presence of sunlight, in the presence of CO2, H2O, and make their food. Okay, so photosynthetic bacteria भी होते हैं जो कि फोटोसिंथेसिस के प्रेजेंस में वो बनाते हैं. तो वो कौन से हैं आपके फोटोसिंथेसिस बैक्टीरिया? कौन से हैं वो? ये साइनोबैक्टीरिया. वो कैसे बैक्टीरिया होते हैं? फोटोसिंथेटिक बैक्टीरिया. एंड द साइनोबैक्टीरिया आर यूनिसेलुलर. Yeah, we know very well, unicellular, maybe colonial if they are they are living in the colony. So colonial or filamentous. Yeah, they have filamentous body like this one. This is a filamentous body. Marine or terrestrial. They can be found in the sea or they can be found in the land surface. So marine or terrestrial alga जो होते हैं, because we are talking about the photosynthetic bacteria, and the colonies are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheet. You will see in the next slide that is a nostoc structure, that is a cyanobacteria, photosynthetic bacteria that have a mucilaginous sheath, and they have a heterocyte, which is a special type of structure which helps in the nitrogen fixation. Okay, so we discussed about the photosynthetic bacteria. So they bloom in polluted water bodies. Blooms in the polluted water bodies, that means कि वहाँ पे कुछ colonies बन जाती हैं, इकट्ठे हो जाती हैं, तो वो color change कर देते हैं water bodies का. So we say these structure like a bloom. Some of these organisms can fix nitrogen fixation, that means fix nitrogen into the nitrogenous compound, which is a special type of structure where nitrogen fixation system, nitrogen fixing is happening. So that is a structure heterocyst. You can see here. Wait, that's a picture we are not getting. Okay, this is the structure heterocyst where nitrogen fixation takes place. Okay, and example is nostoc, anabina. These are the bacteria which come in the eubacteria. Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. Chemosynthetic means the formation of their food in the presence of chemicals. These are those type of bacteria which makes their food in the presence of chemicals. Okay, so like bacteria oxidize various inorganic substances such as nitrates, nitrites and ammonia and use the released energy for their ATP production. Okay, so ATP प्रोडक्शन वो करते हैं, नाइट्राइट्स अमोनिया ये चीज़ बनाते हैं और अपना फूड जो ATP चाहिए उनको वो उनसे मिल जाती है. सो दीज आर द कैमी सिंथेटिक ऑटोट्रॉफिक बैक्टीरिया. They play a great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and sulfur. इन चीज़ों में भी वो हेल्प करेंगे. ओके, सो दीज आर द chemosynthetic bacteria. This is the structure of nostoc, that is a filamentous bacteria. Okay, and the heterotrophic bacteria, what do you mean by heterotrophic bacteria? Means those bacteria who depend on other organisms for their nutrition, for their food, जो दूसरे के ऊपर depend होते हैं food के लिए. The majority are important decomposers. Many of them have a significant impact on human affairs. They are helpful in the making curd, like curd, if जैसे कि we use daily at their home. Curd, तो उसमें क्या होते हैं, bacteria is responsible for their formation of the curd, and the name of the bacteria is lactobacillus. And why we are using bacillus? Because it have a rod shaped bacteria are bacillus bacteria. So lactobacillus is present in the curd. Production of antibiotics. So many bacteria are there which used in the antibiotics formation and fixing nitrogen in legumes. Legumes means pod plants, the plants which have a pod. Okay, like mustard, फलीज जिनको हम बोलते हैं. सो उनकी रूट्स में ये मिलेंगे आपको. सम आर पैथोजेंस. Pathogens, why we are using pathogens? What do you mean by pathogens? So pathogens means the organism which are disease causing, जो disease करते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं pathogens. Like, तो वो disease करते हैं, जैसे कि कोलेरा होता है ह्यूमन बींग्स में, टाइफाइड, टेटनस. अगर हम प्लांट्स की बात करें तो सिट्रस कैंकर, ये कुछ डिसीज़ होते हैं जो कि बैक्टीरिया करते हैं. सो वी आर सेइंग दीज बैक्टीरिया लाइक पैथोजेंस. सो दीज आर द पैथोजेनिक बैक्टीरिया, हेटरोट्रॉफिक बैक्टीरिया. And the next is, this is the simple structure of bacterium. Bacterium means singular word is bacterium and plural word is bacteria. Bacterium singular है, bacteria plural word है. तो ये एक सेल दिखाई गई है. सो ये है, इट इज़ ए डिवाइडिंग बैक्टीरियम. ये रिप्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, एक सेल से दो सेल बन रही हैं. दैट मीन्स ये डिवाइडिंग सेल है. ओके, सो बैक्टीरिया रिप्रोड्यूस मेनली. अब अगर हम रिप्रोडक्शन की बात करें, किसके रिप्रोडक्शन की? बैक्टीरिया के रिप्रोडक्शन की. तो वो काफ़ी डिफरेंट तरीके की रिप्रोडक्शंस होती हैं, जैसे कि बाइनरी फिशन होता है, अनदर इज़ बडिंग, नेक्स्ट वन इज़ DNA बेस्ड जो होते हैं, जिसमें थ्री टाइप की डिस्कशंस करेंगे हम, कि कॉन्जुगेशन, ट्रांसडक्शन एंड लास्ट इज ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस, जो कि अभी फ़िलहाल आपके टॉपिक में नहीं है ये चीज़ें. सो बैक्टीरिया कैसे रिप्रोड्यूस करती हैं? मेनली बाय द बाइनरी फिशन, समटाइम्स अंडर अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस. They produce by spores. So spores formation is also used in the reproduction process by the bacteria. Spores से भी bacteria reproduce कर लेते हैं. And the spatial structure, that is a sexual reproduction, because binary fission is a asexual reproduction which is used by the bacteria, but now we are talking about the sexual reproduction, adopting by a primitive type of DNA transferring from one bacterium to the another bacterium. Just few seconds ago I told you DNA based structures, DNA based reproduction structures like transduction, conjugation, transformation. So I am telling about the conjugation. What do you mean by the conjugation? Conjugation means exchange of genetic material by direct cell to cell contact in bacteria is known as conjugation. Means एक सेल दूसरी सेल है, तो अगर इस सेल का जेनेटिक मटेरियल इस सेल में चला जाए एंड दैट इसका इसमें चले जाए, दैट मीन्स कि एक तरीके को हम एक को डोनर बोल रहे हैं, एक को रेसिपिएंट बोल रहे हैं. तो ये एक सेल से सेल में जो हमारा बैक्टीरिया का जो DNA जा रहा है, जेनेटिक मटेरियल जा रहा है, सो दैट मीन्स कि इसको हम बोलते हैं कॉन्जुगेशन. ओके, सो हम इसको डिस्कस नहीं करना क्योंकि टॉपिक में इट इज़ नॉट कमिंग इन योर टॉपिक. सो ये था आपका बैक्टीरिया के रिप्रोडक्शन वाली प्रोसेसेस. नाउ नेक्स्ट इट इज़ mycoplasma. And what are mycoplasmas? So mycoplasmas are the organism that completely lack a cell wall. वो बैक्टीरिया जो कि सेल वॉल नहीं होती, दैट मीन्स कि उनको माइकोप्लाज्मा बोलते हैं. दे डू नॉट हैव अ सेल वॉल. दे डू नॉट हैव सेल वॉल. रिमेंबर वन थिंग, दे डू नॉट हैव सेल वॉल. सेल वॉल नहीं होती. दैट मीन्स कि अगर किसी चीज़ में सोचिए, अगर this is the bacterium cell, these are the pili, this is a flagellum. Okay, so simple structure. अगर ये इसकी अगर हमें सेल वॉल, क्योंकि सेल मेम्ब्रेन होती हैं, दिस इज अ सेल वॉल, तो अगर ये ना हो, अगर ये जो मैंने सेल वॉल बनाई है ये ना हो, इफ दे आर नॉट हैविंग अ सेल वॉल, दैट मीन्स तो ये फिर बैक्टीरिया नहीं होगा, ये क्या हो जाएगा, माइकोप्लाज्मा. ओके, so they do not have the bacteria who do not have a cell wall, तो उनको बोल देंगे mycoplasma. Simpler living organism, it is the simplest form of living organisms who can survive, remember one thing, without oxygen. वो organism जो बिना ऑक्सीजन के रह लें, simplest organism हो, बिना ऑक्सीजन के रह लें, वो होते हैं mycoplasmas. And many mycoplasmas are pathogenic, and pathogenic means disease causing होते हैं एनिमल्स में एंड प्लांट्स में. ओके, सो दिस इज द सिंपल स्ट्रक्चर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड ऑलरेडी. माइक्रोप्लाज्मा प्रोकैरियोट्स होते हैं, सभी को पता है. लैक ऑफ सेल वॉल नहीं होती, विदाउट ऑक्सीजन के रह लेते हैं, एंड पैथोजेनिक होते हैं, डिसीज कॉजिंग होते हैं प्लांट्स में और उसमें. एंड द लास्ट वन इज साइनोबैक्टीरिया. ऑलरेडी वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. साइनोबैक्टीरियाज आर the bacteria which are photosynthetic autotroph. They perform photosynthesis. They can make their food their own self. They are often form blooms. Polluted waters में blooms बना लेते हैं, colorful कर देते हैं उसको. They have characteristic pigments. Phycocyanin, just I told you phycocyanin, that means blue. Phycocyanin means blue कलर का जो पिगमेंट होता है वो. साइनिन जो होता है आपका फाइको जहाँ पर भी टर्म आती है, सो फाइको इन दिस फाइको मीन्स एल्गा. साइनिन जो आता है वो ब्लू कलर के लिए आता है, तो ब्लू ग्रीन एल्गा जो होते थे उनको हम साइनोबैक्टीरिया ही बोलते थे, लाइक नॉस्टॉक. ओके, सो दिस इज द साइनोबैक्टीरिया, एंड this is the last slide of this video. So it is the structure of the bacterial cell. You can see here this is a nucleoid, because it is not in definite shape, we cannot define what is it, so we are not using the nucleus term. We can say we use the nucleoid term. So it is a nucleoid. ये nucleus नहीं बोलेंगे, इसको nucleoid बोलेंगे. Okay, we know very well what is cytoplasm. It is a liquid that is present in the cell wall, inside the cell wall. Okay, and the cytoplasmic membrane. And if we talk about these structures, these are pili. Okay, and what is the use of the pili? So pili are used at the time of the conjugation, which is a sexual reproduction process. So ये वहाँ पर जाकर यूज़ होते हैं, जिनका काम होता है अटैचमेंट with the surfaces, attachment with the cell. एक बैक्टीरिया दूसरे बैक्टीरिया से अटैच होता है, तो with the help of pili. सो यहाँ पर यूज होता है. बाकी चलने के लिए अगर हम बात करें तो फ्लैजिला इज नॉट हेयर, सो वी कैन ड्रॉ flagellum. This is a flagellum. Flagellum helps in movement. If bacteria want to go somewhere, so flagellum will help. So this is the simple structure of the bacteria, because this is a prokaryotic cell, this is a singular cellular cell. So this is so I hope you will get some topics. You would have some topics in this video. It is a simplest explanation given by me. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then you can share, you can like, you can subscribe, and you can suggest this video. Okay, so thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe.